Hey, I got to the end of this and realized that we didn't put this in the beginning, so I'm going to put it right now before we start this. Full game spoilers are in effect at this point. We talk about and discuss things that happen all the way through EP8 in this episode. So if you're just trying to find like a reading of this game without any commentary or anything, this is not the place to go for it. Just so you know. Hi! You thought we were done with side stories, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we can never be done.
Oh, good.
Our work is never complete. Today we've got the collection Umineko no Nakokoro ni Hane, which contains 2 other short stories that weren't contained in Tsubasa. This one contains Jessica and the Killer Electric Fan and Forgery number XXX.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know what to expect. I think the Jessica one's probably going to be a little goofy. Probably. I feel like it has to be,
I don't know.
right?
It says there's a killer.
That is oh my god.
It's probably a murder mystery.
The killer, it was the Electric Fan all along?
Absolutely.
Oh my god. How did I... All right, let's do this.
That's so threatening.
I'm so threatened right now. It's probably narrated by Jessica too, so...
I'll make the ending just a little stylish. Here. I'm done. It's finished. I finally completed it. The script for the play Saku asked me to write. 1 day of planning, 1 day of writing, 1 day for the final draft. A total of 3 days and nights spent to produce this masterpiece.
Hey, Jesse, how do you come up with the song lyrics you're always writing?
It's easy. I just take the songs that well up from my heart and carve them into music. Why do you ask?
So in other words, you take stories that bubble up from your heart and turn them into lyrics?
You could say it like that too. In other words, I set the stories gushing from my heart aloft on wings of music.
Oh, she said the line. Because Hane means wings. She said the line. Right. There are stories in your songs, Jesse. Maybe if you stopped writing 8-minute rock ballads, you could write other things. I bet if you wrote a story or something, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, maybe. If I wrote a story, I'm sure it'd end up being awesome. So, what about it? Honestly, I should have given it more thought before I promised anything. It turned out there was going to be a play at next month's Culture Festival. I had no idea. The conversation was going to end in me being asked to write the script with 3 days left before the deadline.
Oh gosh.
It's just that I got caught up in the enthusiasm and atmosphere of the moment. I started thinking to myself, with my heart and good taste, maybe I can do it. Come to think of it, Mom warned me about this, didn't she? You and your father both have a bad habit of getting caught up in the mood of a situation and agreeing to things. You have to be careful. I'm sorry, Mom. Anyway, this was the result of the 3 days and nights of hard labor I'd brought down on myself. I finished up the writing late at night and flopped into bed with a thud. How do you like this? I slaved over it for 3 days. I worked without sleeping, so my mind is kind of fuzzy. Damn you, Saku. You're gonna pay dearly for this. It's my first time writing a play script. I'm sure there are some rough spots here and there. But all of my ideas and humor and heart and love and passion, well, I cooked a bunch of things together and mixed in apples and honey at the end, and the result is my big, moving masterpiece script. It'll definitely get thunderous applause at the Culture Festival. Who wrote this wonderful script? It was Jessie? Wow, that's amazing. No, it's the truth, but... mumble. Who is this going to be?
I don't know.
Oh, is it really? You're going to praise it so much. Let me have a look.
Huh? Who's that? My head's still fuzzy with sleep. I absently turned toward the voice. It was a young girl I had never seen before, clad in a pink dress.
Oh, hi, Lambda.
She was standing there munching on popcorn while she read the script I had just finished writing. When she had read it all, she let out a long, delighted cackle. This is hilarious, especially the punchline. That was the best. Thanks. Mumble, mumble. That's weird. Did I really put in a punchline that would make someone roar with laughter like that? Well, whatever. I don't know who this girl is, but she did praise me. That means the play will definitely become famous. It'll certainly be a huge hit, without a doubt.
Certainly, huh?
It'll certainly be a hit, you say. You're confident about that, huh? If I wasn't, I wouldn't have started writing it in the first place. Mumble, mumble. Definitely, certainly. Certainly. Definitely, certainly. Very well. The script was written with absolute certainty of its success. Then I, the Witch of Certainty, Lambda Delta Chan Sama, will bestow the magic of certainty upon it. The hell's that? Sounds fishy. Mumble, mumble.
I'm sure it's fine.
Lambda Delta Chan Sama. Just keeps piling on more suffixes. Hey, how dare you call it fishy? The magic I'm casting on this script is really amazing, okay? It's like this script will actually... The childish girl in pink was boasting about something, but my consciousness was fading in and out, and I couldn't understand anything. In the end, it left me completely, and my soul began to sink into my fluffy feather futon and memory foam pillow. The next morning... As soon as I woke up, I dashed over to the guest house as fast as I could, barely able to control my impatience. Battler was visiting the mansion for the first time in forever, and I wanted to have him read the work I had certain confidence in.
Oh, this will go well.
Shannon happened to be there as well, so I took the opportunity to capture her and made both of them read it.
What? Yo, I know they look perfectly fine, Shannon. I don't know why you're worried. Oh, hi, Jessica. How you doing? Wow, you wrote a play script, Jessica? That's cool.
You're amazing, milady. You can do anything. No, not at all. It was my first time, and I only had 3 days, so it was a pretty close fight.
But in spite of that, it's a great masterpiece that you'll have full confidence in. Shannon's looking over, like getting ready to do her critical eye on.
Shannon's looked at the first page and is like, it was the fan that did it.
She would, though. She really would.
So, you want the two of us to read this script and give you our impressions, right?
It'd be kind of dry if we just read it, huh? Wouldn't it be better if we actually tried acting it out?
I've never done any acting before, and...
Probably gonna be Jessica.
Oh, I got them swapped. Man, that's a great idea. If you guys actually perform it for me, I can watch and do a final check on it, too.
Oh, in that case, it is decided. Let's do it, Shadow-chan. Or maybe you're uncomfortable being my co-star.
Not at all. I humbly accept your request.
You sure? You don't have to if you don't want to. I understand if you want some distance between us.
I'm cracking up now because my brain just processed Shannon saying, I've never done any acting before.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's... Oh, there's some good dramatic irony here.
And there we were. It was sudden, but the first performance of my script was decided on. With a red pen in one hand, I put on airs of being a scriptwriter.
Oh, hey, there's a prince in this. All right, I'll be the prince then.
Then I'll be in charge of the narrator and the princess.
Oh, right, let's get started. Your narration is up first, Shadow-chan.
Then I'll begin. With that, Shannon walked forward and began to read the narration that marked the beginning of the story. This is a tale of a place deep in the world of fairy tales. In this land, there was a country called Roken Kingdom.
Roken Kingdom is a pretty simplistic name, you know.
Quiet, battler, not during the performance. Deep in the mountains of Roken Kingdom, there was a tall, tall tower, and in that tower, a princess was imprisoned.
Rumble, 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 rumble.
What's going on?
What on earth?
As Shannon began to read the narration, the scenery around them began to warp lazily, making a sound like the rumbling of the earth. The scenery outside completely changed to that of a mountain range, and from among the mountains, accompanied by a loud rumble, impossible, a tower was emerging. Yes, a tower. Not a bamboo shoot. It really was a tower. It was just like something you'd see in a fairy tale illustration, made of stone and giving an impression of dignified strength. Anyway, it was a tower. A tower in the mountains.
Oh, this is your narration just now that came true?
Milady, what on earth is this? That reminds me, last night I sort of remember having a weird dream. Something about magic being cast on my script. No, that's ridiculous.
Oh, interesting. Why not? Full points for stage presence. Let's keep going.
Milady, is it all right to keep going? We can't stop now. Being a woman is all about guts. Go ahead, Shannon. Take it away. Right. The tower was surrounded by a dense jungle.
Whoa, this time a jungle popped up. Awesome, this is awesome. What's next?
The jungle was inhabited by a band of monsters who attacked the prince and his men.
A band of wait, what? Ah!
The low rumbling of the ground was gradually growing both louder and closer. The jungle shook, and colorful birds cried as they took flight. I thought it'd be interesting if there was a climax right away or something like that.
Oh, now I'm gonna wipe out those monsters with no sweat, right? Right? Don't fuck with me on this, Jessica.
In the script, it says you're attacked by the monsters and meet a terrible fate.
What the shit?
Well, look, in this situation, you'd expect the prince to win. That'd be boring, right?
The prince is gonna be with that terrible fate as me. What kind of terrible fate? It doesn't say in the script.
While this argument was occurring, the rumbling continued to grow closer.
Rumble, 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 rumble. Yeah!
A large herd of goats was plowing through the jungle straight toward us. I say goats, but they weren't running on 4 legs. They were each wearing something like a black tailcoat and running on 2 legs like a person. Every single one of them was excessively muscular and gave off a horrible stench of manly sweat. But even more frightening than that were their flaming red eyes and messily drooling mouths.
Jessica, what kind of stuff are you writing?
Normal plays?
What do you think is normal?
This? Let's run away. Battler-sama, milady.
We're gonna get crushed underfoot even before that terrible fate shows up. Come on, Jessica, hurry.
I know that. Ah! My foot snagged on the root of a suspicious-looking tropical plant. I barely had time to think, before I had toppled to the ground.
Stupid! It's Jessica!
Milady! The huge herd of goats swarmed toward me and were on the verge of swallowing me up. Even if there weren't a whole herd of them, a single one of those huge bodies would probably be enough to crush me as flat as a pancake. I've never heard of a scriptwriter being killed by their own script before.
There was one guy back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Literal death by 1,000 cuts.
Eh? In that moment, a miracle occurred. For some reason, the goats all simultaneously burst open and, for some reason, changed into an infinite number of soap bubbles. I was left standing in a fantastical storm of soap bubbles. I was soon covered in a soapy film. What the hell? Milady, are you hurt? But I didn't write anything like that in the script. In fact, I took the liberty of making some amends. In Shannon's hands, there were the red pen and script I dropped when I fell down. Basically, in a moment of quick-wittedness, she'd amended the script so that the goats turned into soap bubbles and disappeared.
Oh, nice, Shannon John.
I'm honored that I could be of service. But, man, what the hell? We should still be in the guest house, right? But this is totally some kind of jungle, right? It's a tropical forest. It's a fantasy, right? We've been sucked into the world of the script.
Oh, man. Didn't you know isekais are passé now?
Perhaps this is the magic of Beatrice-sama. That dream, maybe it wasn't a dream.
Shannon just wandering into Jessica's room and just whispering in her ear like, don't worry, it's gonna come true. No, totally come true. Don't worry about it. Wait, no, because Lambda isn't her, but still.
Yeah. Well, maybe it wasn't a dream. Well, a suspicious pink witch cast a weird spell on my script.
Oh, Jessica, just for a future reference, what's going to happen next in this story?
Let's see. It's an adventure story full of twists and turns, and there's lots of, I mixed in some apples and honey and let it simmer. Listen, I pretty much wrote without sleeping for 3 days, okay? My head's all fuzzy, but I still made it by the deadline. That's why, In other words, you don't remember much of what happens in the story either, milady? Sorry. If we turned the pages of the script, this story would progress. At any rate, we discussed various ways of escaping from this jungle. No, from this story, and tried putting them into practice. First, we tried physically destroying the script. It seemed that it was protected by magic or something, and no matter how much we stomped on it or kicked it, we couldn't even put a crease in it. Next, we tried writing the end at the bottom of the current page. At that point, the letters disappeared by themselves, and a different message in red ink rose into view. Unless it is performed to completion, the story will certainly not be ended.
Well,
we tried various other experiments, but they were all useless. Escaping this place by ignoring the rest of the story was impossible. Isn't that obvious? It's a script of certainty with my magic of certainty cast on it, right? So it certainly can't end in the middle. You're that witch who showed up in my dream. That's right. Are you enjoying my magic?
I didn't hear you pronounce that star at the end of right.
Ow, did you just hit me, Battler? You hit me. The Witch of Certainty, Lambda Delta-chan, Samha?
If it's your fault, then that makes things simple, right? Hurry up and end this crazy world.
Can't do that. After all, at this point I'm just an observer. The one spinning this story is Jessica. So even I can't make the story end.
So wait, if you're in here with us now...
Oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
Peace.
I was hoping that would work.
That's so damned irresponsible.
Oh, who's the one who wrote this irresponsible script in the first place?
Anyway, what you're saying is that we have no choice but to perform it all the way to the end, right? You got it. Okay, good luck. I'm off to get some popcorn. Lambda Delta vanished from sight. We had a pretty good idea of the situation now. No way out. No choice but to go forward. But we do have a weapon.
You'll have to rely on that red pen of Jessica's, huh?
Actually, I was referring to my handgun.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll help. I'm not gonna worry while you have a handgun, Shannon. Just
Good.
I hope that isn't canon, because if it is, then a whole lot of other things need explaining. Umineko no Nakokoro
What do you mean by hope that isn't canon?
Somehow, Umineko no Nakokoro ni, if Shannon had a gun, is even longer.
The story would develop as written in the script. However, it seemed that by amending it right away with the red pen, we could alter the story one page at a time. We had no choice but to proceed. Oh, I am fucking up the voices this time.
No, you've got a lot of work to do on this one.
And for whatever reason, a sore throat set in like 5 minutes in, so...
Oh no, do you want me to take over someone?
Nah, we got this. Hopefully the second story in the bunch won't also be all me. And
We
then
can only hope.
Even though we were afraid of what awaited us, at any rate, I had written it while half asleep, letting my pen be guided by my heart. Even I couldn't fully remember how the story would develop.
Jessica, why is this in your heart?
Normal reasons.
Oh, okay, so I guess we're not getting anywhere with this.
Let's perform it then. I'm the one who wrote it, so I'm sure it'll have a happy ending.
It's kind of worrying that the person who wrote it can't remember it.
Let's just do our best.
Ant! Like, there's an ant on the ground. But it was meant to audibly sound like something else that's really funny if you finish the game. You got there?
Yeah.
Okay. Shannon-chan, go ahead with the next bit of narration, please.
Shannon prepared herself for the worst and turned the page. Emerging from the dense jungle, they found themselves in a snowy country.
What? How? What? What kind of biome is this? Are we playing Minecraft?
No. That
God damn. Shannon, does the name Herobrine show up at any point during the script?
that hasn't been invented yet.
I don't care. She's still a Toho fan and that hasn't been invented yet.
The jungle vanished without a trace, and we found ourselves surrounded by a vast snowfield. A pristine snowfield without a single footprint on it. We could see glaciers in the distance, and an aurora glittered in the sky. It was a wondrous scene.
This is some pretty awesome scenery.
Rather than just a snowy country, it seems more like the North Pole, doesn't it?
Wait, if it's the North Pole, then we'd be in the ocean.
Ah! Oh.
Was it really necessary to reproduce the temperature?
Cold.
I'm the prince, aren't I? Somebody bring me a warm coat. Damn it. So what's happening in the script right now?
Let's see. The prince, who was on the verge of freezing to death, was attacked by a yeti and met with a terrible fate.
What the How many terrible fates am I going to meet with? Again?
To be fair, one.
Jessica, do you have some kind of grudge against princes or something?
Maybe
we should take a look at what that says about you.
Saku pushed this awful job off on me, so I was kind of pissed at her. And then I heard she was going to play the role of the prince, so yeah.
It's the Yeti! Boom, boom.
With a crash, the Yeti swung an enormous club the size of a log. Look out! Wait, this is no time to stand around looking surprised. Gotta revise the scenario. Suddenly, the Yeti mended its ways and befriended the prince and his men. Thank goodness. That was close.
Ugh, yeah, but now this guy's being a bit too friendly. Hey, my hair's gonna get messed up, so stop patting me on the head, please. Banana? No thanks. Where did you even get that from, anyway?
Milady, let's write a bit more and make Mr. Yeti our guide. Good idea. If we don't hurry up and get out of here, we're gonna end up as popsicles. And so, the prince and his men, having befriended the Yeti, were guided safely out of the snowy countryside. The next rough spot was a volcanic region covered with boiling magma.
Oh, what kind of hellish kind of scenario is this? Don't you know about convection? How are you planning to perform this at a culture festival?
How should I know? Ask whoever's in charge of the scenery. And in the volcanic region, a dragon with massive wings attacked them, breathing flames from its mouth. Ah! And in the cursed graveyard, they were attacked by a countless number of zombies. Ah! In the deserts of hell, a giant poisonous scorpion raised its tail high. Ah! In the demon swamp, hordes of blood-sucking leeches attacked, one after the other.
Oh, for God's sake!
Milady, hurry! However, the prince and his men were protected by a magical barrier and remained unharmed. There.
But barely made it at the last second again. Oh, geez, I'm wiped out. How about you, Yeti? Yeah, me too, bro.
The prince and his men had suffered many hardships and were now wiped out.
Metaphorically.
And now the stage had returned once again to the jungle. When they managed to push their way through the dense thickets of tropical plants...
It's the tower. We finally made it to the princess's tower.
So, I'll finally get to play the role of the princess. But before that, if I remember correctly, the strongest and most terrible sorcerer is going to appear, and he'll be the final enemy standing in our way. Fucking Kinzo jumps down from the tower.
Or something like that.
At the summit of the tower, there was a human figure. He was wearing a large jet black cloak, and his silhouette had an imposing presence. This was surely the one who had kidnapped the princess and locked her in the tower, the strongest and most terrible sorcerer.
Do it, Jessica.
I've got the hang of this now. The great sorcerer leapt nimbly from the tower. And just like that, he crashed to the ground and died. And just like that, he crashed to the ground and died.
Oh, that's probably Lambda. Commentary.
That's hilarious. Lambda Delta had appeared when we weren't looking and was clutching her stomach and laughing uproariously. But that's the end of your trouble-filled journey, huh? Okay, time for the emotional finale.
We don't need you to tell us that. Shannon-chan, you're the princess, right? Jessica, take care of the narration.
Battler-san.
Oh, I'm the prince right now.
To be honest, there was originally supposed to be a kiss here, but I figured it'd be lewd, so I cut it and just had them live happily ever after. All's well that ends well. Why'd you do that? I wanted to see Battler and Shannon's kissing scene. Well, whatever. That funny punchline is coming up next anyway. Punchline? There isn't any punchline. The story's already over, see? It was true, Jessica's script had ended there. There was no punchline. The prince rescued the princess. Happy ending. Supposedly. And yet, Lambda Delta licked her lips and gave them a cold smirk.
It's over, Lambda Delta. Let us go already.
You know what? I'd really like to do that too, okay?
All right.
But there's still a punchline waiting for you.
A punchline? I don't suppose you mean one in front of the punch bowl over there.
Yeah, that's right. Punch line. The whole reason I gave this script magic was because that caught my interest. Hey, Burn, are you watching? The good bit's about to start. Burncastle's figure appeared floating in the air, still in the middle of a yawn.
I've been watching it. This whole boring play. So, does this thing really have an ending that'll amuse me?
Yes, of course. I guarantee it.
It's stimulating enough to blow away my drowsiness.
That's right, Burn. The stimulating climax is just about to start.
Say that one again.
The stimulating climax is just about to start.
All right.
Oi, sorry to interrupt, but my script is all finished now. There's no climax written anywhere, see? With evil in their eyes, the witches of certainty and miracles convulsed with laughter. At that moment, the earth shuddered and cracked open. What the? An earthquake? The tower crumbled away, leaving in its place a gaping, crater-like hole. Where did that hole come from? When we looked into its depths, everyone was struck speechless. A vast, howling whirlwind. No, an electric fan?
What the hell is that?
There's a huge electric fan spinning away at the bottom of the hole? The enormous fan was rotating at an incredible speed, and every time a crag crumbled away in the depths of the hole, it was smashed up and reduced to tiny pieces by the blades. It was a huge, enormous, killer electric fan.
I see.
Look out! Ah!
Cracks continued to open up in the earth, and everything began to collapse into the ever-widening hole, as if it were all being devoured by the fan. If we didn't get out of here fast, we'd end up falling into that hole too.
This place is collapsing too! Jessica, Shannon, run for it! Hurry!
Battler-sama, look out!
Ah! Ah!
The earth yawned wider, and Battler was swallowed up.
This is bullshit!
Shannon just barely managed to grab hold of his arm, but she too was dragged into the hole, leaving her dangling by one arm from the edge. Battler! Shannon!
Let go of my arm and climb up, Shannon.
I can't. If I do that, you'll... One of Battler's shoes slipped off and tumbled into the abyss. It was sucked into the fan, torn to pieces, and scattered.
Let go of my arm. At this rate, we're both gonna die.
I can't obey that order. Shannon, hold on. I'm coming to pull you up. Ah! Another huge fissure appeared in the earth, and Jessica found herself separated from the others. The other two were in trouble, but she couldn't even go and help them. Battler! Shannon! Damn it! Looking down on Jessica, crying out in despair, Burncastle sneered.
Not a bad climax at all. Since I get to see Battler and Shannon be turned into hamburger, Jessica will go the same way, right? Not bad. It's a fine punchline.
Isn't it? I love you, Burn, because I know exactly what kinds of stories you love the most.
Is that why?
Screw you. How dare you turn my script into something this horrible?
Horrible or not, you're the one who wrote it, you know.
I didn't write anything like this. You wrote all that messed up stuff earlier, though. It was true. Everything before now had been her work. That's why she'd revised it. She hadn't written anything at all about this killer electric fan to begin with. Jessica tried over and over to write about Battler and Shannon being saved, but the letters just vanished, as if they'd been written on a sandy beach and then washed away by the waves. What's going on? Why can't I revise it? Damn it! Shannon's grip on Battler was growing weaker by the moment. The electric fan stopped. No good. The two were miraculously saved. Still no good. This story ended and we were saved. Why isn't anything working? Why? After everything else I wrote before, why can't I write anything this time? Well, the story's already over, right? You can only make revisions within the story.
It's impossible to revise anything outside of the story, after all.
Damn it to hell. Are you saying this horrible punchline is the climax of the story? You damned witches. How dare you? How dare you screw up my script and make everyone suffer like this? The one who wrote this whole screwed up script was you, wasn't it?
Even this gruesome bad ends, okay? I wonder what we can all learn about having a story that's forced to have a certain ending, no matter what goes on in it. Surely no takeaways here.
I did not. I never wrote anything like everyone being swallowed up by this killer electric fan and dying. Oh, is that so?
And here we were, just trying to explain things to you, so you wouldn't be made a laughing stock.
This girl's pretty paperish. She probably doesn't understand.
Looks that way.
Battler... Son, I'm sorry. My arm is about to...
It's fine. Hurry up and let me go. And then climb up and don't look back.
I won't go survive by myself. If you're going to die, I'm going with you.
Don't be stupid. You have to live.
You're the prince who came to save me, aren't you? I don't want to be alone anymore. One by one, Shannon's fingers, clutching at the face of the cliff, began to lose their grip. It was all useless.
Hey, that's my line. Looks like we're blasting off again.
Shannon and Battler tumbled downward toward hell. In the moment of freefall, before they were sucked into the killer electric fan, they embraced each other tightly, so that at the very least, they would be able to meet their ends together.
Shannon, I never got to tell you this.
What?
It's really weird how all the Pokemon that debuted in Gen 2 aren't really found inside the Johto area. Like, why do you have to go to the post-game in order to find Houndour? By the time you're able to get it, it's far too low level to be useful to you. Why does Game Freak hate their own creation so much?
The two steeled themselves, shutting their eyes tightly. What? They weren't in hell, nor were they in the middle of the killer electric fan. They were on a bed in the guest house. For a moment, they sat there holding each other tightly in amazement. Was that a dream?
No. There's no way it was a dream.
Their bodies were still covered with scratches from the cliff face they had been scraped against just a few moments earlier. That great adventure in which they'd risked their lives really had happened. The fact that they'd returned to their own world meant that the story had safely reached its ending. It was clear that Jessica had managed to end the story with some kind of revision, but Jessica was nowhere to be seen. As for Jessica, she was in front of the writing desk in her own room. Lying on the desk were the script and the red pen. Jessica had collapsed on top of them. Lambda Delta and Burncastle were standing on opposite sides of her. At the very last moment, she had managed to revise one single line. Because of that, the story had ended, and Battler and Shannon had been saved. But saved how? Jessica hadn't written anything about that huge electric fan in the first place. No matter how many times she'd tried to revise it, the change hadn't been accepted because the story was already over. However, Jessica had definitely made a revision. She had changed one single character. So in other words...
Good for you. Now you won't be made a laughing stock.
Yeah, thank you very much. Jessica, who was still slumped over the desk, timidly raised her head. Her face was bright red with embarrassment. Since I'm paper, I'm in no position to be saying this, but when you try to look cool by using English words, you should really make sure that you've spelled them right.
By the way, fin is actually a French word.
The script ends with fin, but it was fan.
The killer electric fin.
Yeah, I thought something was off about it.
You just wrote it because you were sleepy, right?
No, she thought it would be cool to write fin at the end of the story, but she was far too embarrassed to ever tell anyone that she'd ended up writing fan by mistake.
You just miswrote it because you were sleepy, right?
Of course.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun. I genuinely enjoyed that. I think that
I also like how it's basically just the story of Umineko.
right?
The play within a play.
And how, like, no matter what you write, there's always the inevitable ending that you can't change anything outside the story, right?
Yeah.
Because the other parts outside of it are already written.
Yep.
Oh, we got one more for you in Hane here. It's called Forgery number XXX.
All right.
The X's stand for extreme. Extreme a second time. I don't know what the third X is for.
Ew, whoop, whoop. So many roses. So many roses. Ew, whoop, whoop.
Maria, don't be so hasty. You'll fall again. Hey, Jessica-chan, Maria-chan. Let's go and say hello to Grandfather and the others first. This rose garden is so darn beautiful every time I see it, ain't it?
I liked it much better before the remodeling. You really have no sense of style at all, Aniki. Can't you do anything else but complain, Aniki? Ow! Ow! Not the ears. Don't pull the ears. The family members coming for the family conference strolled around the rose garden, bickering like always. But this year was slightly different from last year, because after having been apart from the Ushiromiya family for 6 years, Battler had returned. Oh, it really has been a long time, but just as expected, the mansion and the garden are still huge.
Damn, after 6 years of no contact at all?
What do you mean no contact? What about those letters I sent?
The what?
Never mind.
I can't even start to think you come back that the first thing... I can't even start to think you've come back that the first thing you notice is how huge this place is.
Got there!
Looks like you got bored in these 6 years without Battler-kun, huh, Jessica-chan? But the area here is not the only thing that seems huge. Battler-kun, you've grown quite a bit as well.
Maria didn't grow at all, right? Time passes, but I always remain the same size. Ew, woo, woo.
Whoa! Oh, well, that's thunder, IRL.
Yeah!
All right. Oh, don't worry. You'll start growing soon, too. Hold on just a second, everyone. Don't worry, you'll start growing soon, too. That is, both upwards and forwards.
Yeah, but Mama, can someone grow forward?
Hey, pervert Battler, don't teach Maria such weird stuff.
Hey, don't blame me. I didn't write it. Jessica's violent tendencies haven't changed either. Hey, let's go, you brats. You can fool around later, okay? It's the first time they've met in 6 years, Rudolph. They're all pretty excited.
All right, now everyone, I'll lead you to the guest house. Please come along this way.
Huh? What's up, Battler? Is there something? After being called by Goda, everyone headed toward the guest house. Only Battler continued to gaze at the rose garden, calmly or maybe a little surprisedly.
What's up, Battler-kun?
Oh, sorry. Could you just go ahead for a moment?
Yeah, but Battler, is something wrong?
I just want to feel the wind a little while longer. Just a little bit.
What's up with you being so smug? Can't you do that as much as you want later?
Until just now, he had been carelessly fooling around with his cousins, but now all of a sudden Battler's expression showed a slight hint of gloom. His eyes did not reflect his cousin's. The only thing it reflected was the sight of the rose petals dancing through the rose garden, or maybe even the gray sky on the horizon.
Okay, well, let's go, everyone.
Rokenjima after 6 years. No, the Ushiromiya family. It was clear that Battler needed just a little more time to sort out his feelings. George considered that, and so he asked Maria and Jessica to accompany him ahead. No matter what, it had been 6 years. Just now they had been playing like they had returned to themselves of 6 years ago, but no matter what, that was 6 years in the past. After such a long time, it was surely not just his height and features. It must have been his mind as well. He must have changed severely. In that expression surfaced something else than the Battler from 6 years ago who was just a child. Jessica thought so as well.
I understand. We'll go ahead. See you later, Battler.
Yeah. Later.
Maria spurted ahead hastily when she was called by Rosa, and George and Jessica followed her. After that, the only thing left in the rose garden, among the silently blowing wind, was Battler's figure. After he made sure that all signs of the family members had vanished into the guest house, Battler relaxed a little, let the tension leave his shoulders, and sighed shortly. Battler Kun. Battler Kun, huh? Ushiromiya Battler.
That's supposed to be my name. I've been called it many times. That's obvious since it is my name. But I and the Ushiromiya Battler I know. I'm sad to admit, they are quite different.
2 battlers, maybe more.
It was then that a forceful wind blew through... yeah, maybe. Well, didn't we have this whole conversation when we were trying to sort out what the whole...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Because one of the theories we ran with for a while was that there was a second battler. It turned out to be much more succinct than that. And we got there eventually, but I wonder what this other battler here is going to be. In the blink of an eye, the rose petals scattered and danced about, revealing a fantastic scenery. But those dancing rose petals, as if they were frozen in time, stopped moving in midair. That was a parallel world where only the wind blew.
Battler-sama, welcome back.
Why am I purple now? What? The fuck?
Who the fuck are you? Sorry, we hadn't had a chance to do that in a while.
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, Runaway. You look well? How long has it been since we last met?
After Land of the Golden Witch, I had the privilege to be at your side during Trinity of the Golden Witch. No, if we consider that Lady Burncastle's game board is supposed to be the last.
Well, no matter how long it's been, we still just met, haven't we?
The different colored rose petals in the garden suddenly changed their color. All of them were suddenly a beautiful gold. This was no longer the rose garden of the Ushiromiya family. It was the place where golden roses bloomed, the golden land. Battler sat on a garden chair and looked up into the sky. Runaway made some tea with a magic tea set, then offered it to Battler.
Why are my eyes like this?
So his outfit looks a lot like Rudolph's? Is that it?
He just looks like a palette swap of Battler to be evil.
Yeah. Well, we've seen Evil Battler. There's already an Evil Battler palette swap. We don't need a second one.
Wait, there was already an evil Battler palette swap?
Yeah, Culprit Battler from EP8.
Did Culprit Battler look like this?
No.
What did Culprit Battler look like?
Not like this.
Okay.
To the best of my memory.
Huh.
So I'm right here now, huh? Means I better play out my part as myself, right?
Well, how shall we proceed?
A piece has its duty as a piece once it's been placed on the game board. As long as it remains within the boundaries of the role given, it can run wild on the board to its heart's content. That's what this is about, right?
That is correct. And you have been summoned here once again with that precise purpose.
That means that I can do anything I like, just as I like. That's it, isn't it?
That is quite correct. Therefore, your role is...
to run as wild as I want.
Exactly, Battler-sama.
Battler laughed. But it was no delightful laughter. It was a dry laugh, revealing his stance towards being summoned here without knowing what his purpose was, having just been burdened with such a dumbass job. So it's battlers as a piece, but battler who is aware of the fact that he's a piece. But he's not a player of this game. So...
I'm still thinking this is meant to be culprit battler.
Okay, maybe it is culprit battler. Because when it's battler but not battler has a couple things that could mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the distinction between piece and player, distinction between battler as a historical person versus battler as like the insert character
Mm-hmm.
In the meta world. The difference between battler and then Toya, right? There's a couple of different... Battler contains multitudes. A lot of characters in this game are like that, actually.
Funny that.
Funny. It's almost like it's a recurring theme. It is my personal choice, whatever I do. That is correct. Whatever you do or do not do, it is completely up to you. Though there is just one restriction. Don't ever bore us.
Precisely. Even I, Ronove, am looking forward to seeing what you will show us in this tale of joy and sorrow.
And even I'm even supposed to know what to do, huh? Are you completely insane? Hey, that's just like those TV variety shows. They suddenly call a young actor on stage and tell him to do something fun without any preparation.
No, that is quite a pleasant comparison.
Well then, I'll make them dance once again. I'll swing the conductor's baton on this incomprehensible serial murder case. Every one of you. I'll raise the baton, waiting eagerly, despising your diligent mannerism.
What story might you spin this time? The preparations have all been done. Now, shall I lend you a hand with anything? Shall it be the letter announcing the murders handed in the Rose Garden? Or maybe the preparation of the stage of the tragedy? Everyone is already eagerly awaiting the raising of the curtain.
This time, with whom shall I start? No. How shall I kill them? Yeah, I guess the Ushiromiya battler. No matter who might see this form, they will suspect nothing. Still, the expression he had was that of another person. Was he really Ushiromiya battler?
He was a piece that had the same shape as Ushiromiya battler, but it was a piece with quite a different role.
No, that's not it. I don't want to see any killings, nor any corpses. What I really want to see is... that is really just that one instant. I want to witness that one instant. Do you understand, Ronove?
The most beautiful flicker is that one instant right when a candle is blown out.
Yeah. What I want to see is that most beautiful, most dreadful moment of scattering.
Battler stood up as he said this, and while looking up at the dark violet sky, he spread his arms and screamed.
I want it in front of George Adaki's eyes while he cannot move. What color might the tears be is he going to shed when I will be slowly strangling Shannon-chan to death in front of his eyes? What color might the blood that idiot father is going to spill be when I'll blow his head off the moment he learns the son is the culprit?
Yeah, okay, so it's culprit battle, right?
I want to see the tears of Natsuhiko-san. I'll smash Jessica to a bloody, sticky pulp, and then I'll pretend I would have just found her corpse. What face might Natsuhiko-san show, and what tears might she shed while starting to run? What kind of crumpled face might that beauty cry, I want to see it? And I will cry along with her. And then I will press her crying to my chest, and I'll make her think that I'm crying along with her. And with the most horrible and worst humility on my face, I'll speak without crying or laughing. Did you see that? That is the story you all want to see, right? I'll show it to you. I'll show you the greatest form of entertainment with an Ushiromiya battler who could be the culprit.
Battler roared towards the sky, nor towards a house full of spectators, and his exclamation was accompanied by a roaring thunder, just like an applause.
Truly splendid. A story truly worth seeing. Well then, Battler-san, what will tonight's game be? How will tonight's tragedy turn out? Who shall be killed first?
Well, the first thing I want to visit is an overture. I've just arrived here after all. So even before doing an overture, we have to tune the instruments, right?
No matter how splendid the sound might be, any instrument has to be tuned. But what shall happen in that state of tuning?
I wanted to try to start by killing you.
Well, that is something I had not expected.
In what way has the me on this game board been drawn? I want to finish testing that quickly and easily. This me, was it really written in a way worthy to be me? If it's not a me that satisfies me, I might just discard the stage without doing anything at all, you know?
Battler said that while looking up to the heavens. This time his face really was filled with laughter. Ronove turned the tea set back into a cloud of golden butterflies once again to clean up. Then he revealed his neck by slightly opening his collar.
Well then, Battler-sama, please use my humble body and test to your heart's content.
Huh. Gay.
That is a little gay, dude. You have to know that, right?
I had never said it wasn't.
What music will I be able to play when I break your fingers one by one? Something by ZTS, probably. I want to hear it.
Battler laughed sinisterly. But in that laugh was neither something bizarre nor something demonic. It was purity. The purity of a child filled with interest. Ronove often laughed in a prude, composed manner. But for him to laugh such an uncomposed, huge laughter, that was a first for everyone.
I understand, Battler-sama. Well then, first of all, these fingers. I will offer them to you. That is, if you really are the person who's fit to taste my humble fingers.
Huh. Gay.
Dude, you really understand that this is super gay, right?
I never said it wasn't.
Yeah, I want to test this as well. If I was drawn in a way that I could be able to do something like that, I want to test it. If I might actually turn out to be drawn in a way that is not me, smash me, Ronove, tear me into pieces. Only such a forgery would be forgiven. Now test me as well. If this me that has been called forth again is a forgery worthy of the biggest laughter. Now Ronove, test it. Let us both test it.
Umineko fans be like, man, that fight scene is so fire.
And now, you can never serve your black tea to anyone but me ever again. For all eternity.
Suddenly, a dry clapping could be heard.
Oh, look who's there. If it isn't you, Beato. Decide on watching, at least admit you were doing so.
What a joke. If you were drawn to express yourself so joyfully, I might become your instrument as well.
Yeah, that might happen. After I heard it once, I will never forget your sound ever again. You were the most perfect violin. That sound, it was as if it was coming from heaven itself. But I can wait a little while longer, because it is something really, really important. Because that is the one sound that I have loved for a long, long time, and will love for all eternity.
Even if you put it like that, it's dreadful. No, it's wonderful. Even with Ronove as your opponent, you have not a single wound.
Hey, Beato. Look at me for a moment.
I am.
Am I... me?
This was when Battler completely turned around. On that face showing an inhuman smile, there was a single rose petal. It was a red petal in this golden land where only golden roses were supposed to bloom.
I'll acknowledge it. You are you. I am so happy to be able to meet you again. And through meeting you, being able to become stronger, more beautiful, and more dreadful. With every forgery that is written, and with each story that is spun around Ushiromiya Battler being...
With every forgery that is written, and with each story that is spun around Ushiromiya Battler being the culprit, the entity called me is growing in power.
That is truly dreadful. What might those spectators who are longing for you expect from us?
Isn't that quite obvious? It's something that applies to the both of us.
You might be right. It's the same for me and you. Never bore
us. Their laughter was answered by a huge roaring thunder, which became the applause of the spectators. Somehow he and them seemed to have taken a liking to this forgery.
Well now, Battler, what will you do now?
This is providing some real fucking cognitive dissonance because it's also raining outside.
Oh, yeah.
So it got rain in my headphones, but also...
Especially because I have one headphone off so I can hear my own voice better. So it's like I hear fake rain in one ear, real rain in the other ear.
Oh my god.
From which tragedy will the overture begin?
It isn't curtain rising time yet. The signal will be the large clock in the hall, 24 this night.
I understand. So, what will you start with?
First, I'll go to the mansion and drink that disgusting black tea Goat always brings us.
Then you'll gaze at my portrait while you're going to the beach, asking who is that woman.
And I'll hear about the epitaph from them while having an exaggeratingly surprised look on my face.
My, it will be boring before midnight. Truly a boring scenario.
You're right. Truly boring. Who is it this time? The author of us forgeries.
I have no idea. Anyone is fine. And he's like us. Someone that does not like boredom. Someone that likes tales written in blood and tears more than anything else. A merciless sadist.
Those merciless people will gather one after the other and create forgeries like us. Do you understand? Even if you don't write any more about us, we continue to live.
Battler looked up to the sky once again. He looked bored and very provocative.
Are you watching, Toya? Try to stop me soon. Try to stop this farce. Someone try to make me laugh.
It happened suddenly. It started to rain in the rose garden. It happened earlier than ever before. It was even earlier than that time when Maria starts crying for a rose that went missing. Even the roses weren't golden anymore. Suddenly we had returned to the Ushiromiya rose garden with its many colors. There in the rainy rose garden, Battler stood alone, stock still, looking at the sky.
Battler-sama, if you keep standing there, you'll catch a cold. Yo, Canon-kun, right? It's been a while.
Is that so? So this is your plan for tonight's nightmare?
Don't look at me like that. Even you want to see it, right? How my lady Jessica's reduced to tears, both body and soul. You want to hear her say that it doesn't matter what happens to her as long as Canon-kun is set free, right? Don't you want to see her cutting off her own fingers again?
You devil. Who in heaven's name called someone like you here?
It was the unstoppably huge number of spectators who expect to see me as the culprit, and those nameless conductors who bestow that dream upon me.
Canon side-eyeing the audience there.
Come on, let's go, Canon-kun, or else you'll catch a cold.
Yes.
And, don't forget this.
I'll take care of it.
Tonight, when the big clock in the reception hall strikes midnight, you will deliver this to the family members in the dining room. Tell them that there was a knock at the door of the servants' room. When you stepped out into the corridor, this envelope was lying on the floor.
I understand. TBH, if someone approached Canon and said, like, hey, you want to help me do a real-life murder plot? There's a part of Canon that would be morbidly fascinated by it, right? Like the part that's always writing mysteries.
Yeah.
Again, a roaring thunder. The pitch-black sky blinked violently. Among the still falling rain, Battler once again spread his arms, laughing, and looked at the sky. After all, the eternal cat box truly was in his hands. After all, the recurring nightmare was as he imagined it. And after all, the fantasies of the people of the future would never deplete. There would never be boredom. And this is why.
Come, the game begins once again tonight.
This is why this is the torture that will torment you for all eternity.
I'll be waiting for you, my dear adorable black kitties. I'll quench your thirst. And I love you, my black kittens. Repeat this mad night for all eternity as you wish. Yeah, understood. Tonight we'll go with that plan. Let's fall together to the bottom of that eternal darkness while we tightly embrace one another.
Evil battler, what's he gonna do?
Evil battler, what's he gonna do? Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. Still. Oh, that's
And by the way, fuck you, audience.
yeah. By the way, apparently. Oh, hey, look at that new title screen. Oh wait, we got a postscript. Hold on, postscript. I like scripts after. Hello, Ryukishio7 here. I wish a happy new year to everyone reading this in the new year. I'd like to take the occasion to thank you deeply for buying both Higabana Second Night and Muso Kyoko Cross at the same time. Enjoy the various extras attached this time, like Umineko Hane or the booklet. Be happy if you did. Since in the 4 years of Umineko I've been busy with a long production process, and I put all my energies into it, I had fun in overcoming various challenges in 2011, like creating the fighting game, the bonus discs, and other stuff. Since it was new to me, there have been a lot of problems, but it was an unexpectedly fun year. Well then, this year, 2012, I plan to challenge myself with a new work. My next installment after Higurashi, Umineko, Ugon Muso Kyoko, and Higabana will be... I've already decided. Maybe when you'll be reading those words, its production will have already had a full-blown start.
Hey.
Hey.
It has.
If possible, I'd like to give a summary introduction in the beginning of the new year, therefore please look forward to it. With the enjoyment as the most important thing, I want to make a new setting a little different from those I created until now.
It is.
You don't say, buddy. Moving from historical fiction to, is it near future sci-fi? It's futuristic sci-fi. I too am excited by thinking of diving myself in this challenge of drawing a brand new world. I'll keep doing my best this year too, so please keep following us. And now for some scribbles. How are you? Are you feeling well? Last year I've been taken away with the ambulance for the first time. My body's hurting everywhere. All in all, it's been a new year full of troubles. Oh no!
That's
Your
unfortunate.
Body starts falling apart and you smell trouble, please go to the hospital. If you're healthy, people around you will feel happy too. I too will soon be turning 40. Fighting spirit and willpower aside, it's become an age of tighter schedules and in which we started talking about having a healthier lifestyle. I still want to keep doing my production activity for a very long time. Therefore, health comes first. And above all, I want to thank from the bottom of my heart all the staff members who supported me until today. Just thanks to them that I could have fun working. If any one of them weren't there, this wouldn't have been possible. I'm truly happy I'm surrounded by the comrades I can rely on. Thanks for everything, everyone. Let's make something pandemic together again, shall we? What? Ta-da! Ekusa Takahito Sensei sent me a New Year themed illustration. It's a rough draft for a black battler and battler illustration. Nice! So thanks for listening to my selfish request and making it New Year-ish. I'm so happy I received an illustration that beautiful. I'm serious. Once, I wanted to draw beautiful illustrations too, and I practiced my drawing a lot.
And it worked.
And it worked! I will never stand for anyone shitting on Ryukishio7's art sprite work.
Yeah.
As you already know, it's useless. I haven't really got any talent, huh? Wonder how he did manage to draw a picture that beautiful. Maybe a pretty big digression. Last year in Rewrite, made by Visual Arts, having the illustrations for my scenario made by Itaru Hinoue Sensei has been a precious personal experience.
Interesting. I didn't know he contributed to Rewrite.
I didn't either. I thought that it would be really nice to have drawings made by skillful people. Maybe when I'll be devoting myself to the text writing, I could ask someone skilled to make the illustrations for me from time to time. However, what would you think if Ryukishio7 wasn't drawing anymore? Wouldn't it be a little sad? I think it would be a little
it would be quite sad.
I genuinely... Like, again, we've talked about this at length, so I'm not going to rehash it too long here, but there is something so personal and emotive in Ryukishio7's sprite work that just doesn't come through with the more professionally done ones.
Ryukishi's sprites are friendship.
Yeah, the PS3 ones look very good. They're clean, they're professional, but it also looks like every other visual novel you've ever read, right? No other visual novel looks like Umineko does, except for other ones made by R07. And I think that is something kind of ephemeral that is worth holding on to.
Yeah.
But what? No problem at all. Prefer having pretty pictures? That's so. Forget it. Anyway, but doing my best from now on. I want to publish something fun with the help of everyone asked for assistance again. Thank you for being by my side until now. Hope this will prove to be a beautiful year for all of you. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was really fun. I'm glad you all stuck around for us doing a couple more side stories. There is one last thing we're going to do after this. At least. There is at least one more thing I have planned for Umineko side material. There might be more if some other stuff comes across my way, but I wouldn't expect it to go on too much longer. I mean, we're never going to be able to start Draconia at this rate, right? Anyway, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Peace.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.